It's interesting here. We usually ask your favorite sports doc, but I'm going to change it up with you and ask your favorite doc or the types of docs that you would recommend are light.
Ooh, okay. Oh, there's so many good ones. Gosh, one that sticks out to me, I don't know why I'm thinking of this one right now, but I really like stories about like extraordinary people, you know, just sort of like stranger than fiction kind of stories. And one that I really enjoyed was Three Identical Strangers, about these triplets that reconnected later in life. Just this stranger than fiction sort of feeling. McMillions was an incredible series on HBO. I watched all of that recently, and I was just blown away by the cinematic quality and the storytelling. I'm just so inspired by all of the tools that documentary filmmakers get to use, from animation to reenactment to music to graphics. It's really, really an exciting time to be a filmmaker in any regard, but certainly in the documentary field, there's just like an explosion of art forms within the same medium, and that's been really cool. I have so many films I admire, but those two kind of stick out.
How does being a mother inspire you as a filmmaker?
Oh my God. Oh, in every way possible. My most recent film is called Nevertheless, and it's all about sexual harassment in the workplace. I made that film completely dedicated to my daughter, Bryce. I started making it when I was pregnant with her, and I just felt this tremendous responsibility to help make the world a safer place for her and all girls and women to exist in. And so that was a really, really tough film to make emotionally, to hear a lot of pain, a lot of, you know, struggle. But having this sort of North Star of like, we have to make the world better for our children. And thinking about my daughter and not wanting her to face those same things that I've faced and that so many women I know have faced. Yeah, and now I have a son, so I feel like that's sort of permeating my thought as well. I want to tell a lot more stories about motherhood. I really want to examine like gender roles, gender stereotypes, and just my work sort of influences my parenting, and now I feel like my parenting is going to also influence my work. So yeah, it's sort of, how do you untether from being a parent once you are one? You just kind of...
Here comes the Chicago Cubs documentary. Here we go.
Oh, gosh.
What's your dream doc? Or is there one that you're like, hey, I really want to tell X story?
Yeah, I mean, right now there's so much going on with mothers, with parents, especially due to the pandemic. You know, more women have left the workforce in the last year. It's been called the she session. And that really breaks my heart. And sort of this idea that all the progress that has been made for women has been lost in the last year, like a decade of progress or something insane has been lost in the last year. So that just makes me want to pick up the camera and go, you know, and it makes me want to tell more stories about mothers. So I'm beginning to develop an idea about motherhood in some form. My first film, The Empowerment Project, involved a road trip across the United States to interview inspirational women. So now I'm sort of percolating on an idea of doing this similar kind of thing, where I get in a minivan, a SUV of some kind with a fellow mother, and we go out and we really start to unpack, like, what does it mean to be a mother in America today? And what are the struggles that mothers are facing, pandemic or not? And that's really kind of speaking to me right now. That would sort of be my dream project right now, is really to like dive into the motherhood experience in all of its complexities.
Get ready. The Winnebago is coming across the country.
Yes.
The kids are coming. The family's coming. It's going to be a special, another special experience by Sarah Moshman.